Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? I am so excited for this video because I'm going to be doing a first impression on the new Disney Princess Sigma Cinderella collection. I'm such a sucker for a princess collection. I think the palette in here is so beautiful. When I got the email from Sigma that I was receiving this in PR, I was just so excited, and when I opened the package I was just like, who am I to be receiving this, because it's just such a beautiful collection to me personally. I feel like I don't really get suckered into buying a lot of collections, but I was planning on purchasing the eyeshadow palette at the very least from this collection if I didn't receive it in PR, because I really like Sigma's formula and it's just such a cute color story. So I hope that you guys are excited to see me test it out today as well. So here is what the collection looks like. I actually do have a nice little pamphlet here which explains everything, but there is a brush set, there's an eyeshadow palette, there's a face duo, and there's also some lip glosses. So the brush set comes in this really beautiful sparkly blue bag. Inside is some of their most famous brushes, honestly. We've got their E30 pencil brush, I believe. I think this is the E55, the E40. This is what is this? This is the powder blush brush, an F40. And then we also have the infamous F80. Personally, looking at the brush set, I'm sure that all of these are going to be great quality, as always with Sigma brushes, but it is a very, very simple set, and it's not my favorite curation. I guess if you haven't tried Sigma and you love the packaging or something, then these brushes might be a good place to start, but they definitely have brush sets that I prefer more in terms of the brushes that are offered. That brush set retails for $82, and then we've got the Disney Cinderella Lip Duo, which retails for $29. There's a Dreamy liquid lipstick, which I've never tried Sigma's liquid lipstick formula, so I'm excited for that. And then the magical gloss. And then we've got the little face duo. Little plastic sheets are so cute. I don't want to get rid of them, but here's what this one looks like. This retails for $35, so there's a highlighter and a blush. I honestly feel like this is definitely more favoring fair skin tones. I don't know that it's going to be the most universal face duo. And then the star of the show, the eyeshadow palette. So here's what this one looks like. So cute. I really love the mixture of cool tones and the pops of purple and green, and then there's the neutrals. I just think it looks so cute. I love the names. And then inside you have the E38 and the E54, which are different than the ones that are in the set. So it's a nice addition to the eye brushes that we already have going on. And this palette retails for $49. I would also keep in mind that you can pretty much always find a discount code for Sigma. I see 30%, 40% off codes for them all the time. Oh, and then you can also get the entire collection for $156, which is a $231 value, just in case you were curious. So I know I'm kind of all over the place, but let's go ahead and do swatches of the eyeshadow palette. Just gonna do live swatches like I always do, and then we'll do a look with that, try out the face duo, try out the lippies, test the brushes, and just have a time of it. Right, so starting off, the first shade here is called Wishful, and this is just a light kind of satiny, kind of neutral shade. I think that looks really, really pretty. We have Pumpkin, which is just kind of like a soft, warm brown. And then we have Fantasy, which this looks so pretty. It's like a purple and green sparkly shadow. Definitely a little bit more smoky, but the texture looks really nice. So there's the first 3 shades. Look how sparkly that is. So pretty. Next we have the shade Courtyard, which is a really pigmented, kind of like ivy green. We've got One of a Kind, which looks so pretty. Oh gosh, it makes me so sad to mess up the imprints, but that's like a purple green duochrome. It's like a lavenderish purple shift on a green base. How pretty is that? I feel like those 2 shades together would be such an easy look, but it would look so unique, and he tried really hard even if you just threw that in the crease and that all over the lid. And then we've got Kindness, which is a burgundy kind of purple. Or actually, you know what? Maybe not that much burgundy. We love a shade called Kindness, though. Oh, that's so pretty. I feel like it's just a unique color story. All right, next we have this gold called Charming. I'm not really that big of a fan of this kind of gold. Like, it just kind of looks very boring to me, but at least it's pigmented. Seems okay. We've got the shade Mischievous, which looks like a really pigmented matte black. And then we've got Dressmakers, which looks like a rose gold. Oh yeah, that's a pretty smooth black. All right, next we've got Cinders, which is another warm brown matte. That one's just a little bit deeper. We've got Sweet Nightingale, which is like a bluey green metallic shade. No sparkles in that or anything. And then we've got Hopeful, which is a navy blue. That's pretty. Next, we have Bibbidi Boppity Boo, which is a really, really sparkly purple. That one does feel a little bit like looser and like less creamy in the pan, but I think it's just the texture. Like, it is super, super sparkly. And then we've got Stroke of Midnight, which is kind of like, I would say like a deep plum. So there's all the swatches. I feel like it just looks so pretty. Like, I think what I love about it is that this is like a princess palette, but it doesn't look like a cookie cutter, boring, neutral color scheme like you would expect or that you've seen from a lot of brands when they're doing this kind of collaboration. So I just think it's really fun. And I feel like although it's like a little all over the place, like I have like a lot of ideas in mind of like really pretty looks that you could do. So I'm just applying some eyeshadow primer real quick, but I think I decided the direction I want to go in with this look, which is using that really interesting duochrome and then that matte green, and then maybe we'll like deepen it up a little bit or like do a little extra because I want to test at least a decent amount of shadows to see the quality of the palette overall. But I feel like that one shade that I mentioned the look with, I just can't help it. I want to start there. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna start off with the E40 from the collection, and I'm gonna go into the shade Courtyard and just start that off through my crease. That looks pretty decent to start off with, and then just gonna lightly blend it out. I mean, I feel like that just blended so quick, I don't even understand what just happened. I mean, it definitely did sheer out some. It could be this brush that I'm going in with because it's a pretty big fluffy brush, but I'm gonna go in with a little bit more. Just throw that through my crease. That's really pretty. So I'm also picking that shade up on the E30 pencil brush and just gonna run that along the outer half of my lower lash line. This is honestly not my favorite pencil brush. It's not a bad one per se, but it's definitely like a little bit more stiff. And my under eyes are just really sensitive, so I like to go in with something a little bit softer. I think that my version of the E30 is actually quite a bit softer than this one, but it's probably just because it's like 8 years old. Now going into that same shade, that same green one more time, I'm going to pick that up on the E38 and put that through my crease just to see if we can build up the intensity a little bit and go with something slightly less fluffy. Oh yeah, for sure. That's what I figured. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't shearing out just because of the formula and it was just the brush, but that looks really good. All right, I think next I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna dip into a little bit of the navy blue Hopeful, just out of curiosity. I don't know that I want this to show up that much, but I'm just gonna throw a little bit in my outer V. Oh yeah, it has a really good amount of depth to it. It's not like a super bright blue by any means. Just adding a little hint of blue to the look. And then on top of that, I'm gonna go into the black Mischievous and I'm gonna take the E54 side just to pick up just a little tiny bit and put that in my outer V. Super pigmented. Just kind of placing it down where I want it to be with this side and then going with the other side to blend it out. I feel like everything's blending so nicely. I'm also going to pick up a bit of that black on the pencil brush and just connect the lower lash line to the outer V, just on like the outer third. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the shade Wishful with the E54. I wiped it off as best as I could. Hopefully there's no black left on it at all. But I'm just going to pop that on my inner corner. Oh yeah. See, I really like that because I feel like it's neutral enough. It'll go with all the colors in the palette, but also if you were sticking to this area here, or maybe like a little bit of plum and throwing that on the inner corner, or like bringing it up onto the lid, I think it would be really nice for that as well. I'm also gonna go into a touch of Sweet Nightingale with the pencil brush, just out of curiosity, and I'm gonna pop that on the front half of the lower lash line. It's actually really pretty. I think that's kind of a shade that you see often, that like bluey green, very like summery shade. I want to say Makeup Geek had a shade just like this that was called Poolside. Don't know that they sell it anymore. Now I am going into the E55 and I'm going to take that shade One of a Kind. Very excited about this. It's a little bit more sparkly and like it seems a little softer, so I think I'm going to spray my brush just because I already did my face and I really don't want to get any fallout. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that all over my lid. Such a pretty shade. I love that this is the one that's named One of a Kind because it's giving me life. It's reminding me of a shadow that I have. I can't remember if it's from Divina or Terra Moons, but this is just like super sparkly. So it's so nice to see in a palette. All right, so I did my liner and mascara off camera really quickly. I really, really love the look. Let's go ahead and try out the face duo real quick. So I guess I'll just do some swatches first. We've got a Glow, which looks like a really beautiful kind of like peachy golden shade actually. I feel like that looks a lot prettier than I was expecting it to. Like in the pan, like it looks nice, but there's just something about the shade and like the shine on my finger. I mean, yeah, that looks pretty. And it actually is a little bit darker than it looks in the pan too, which makes me happy just in terms of more people being able to use it. But I always think it's silly when a brand comes out with like just one face duo. Like, obviously that's not going to work for everyone. And then we have the shade Ever After, which is actually like a pretty corally blush. Definitely an interesting duo to go with this palette. I know I would have like had more of a neutral blush if it was me. I'm gonna go ahead and take the F10 powder blush brush and I'm dipping in. I dipped into Ever After just barely. Do you see the amount of product that just picked up? Okay, the brush is like wonky and I think it's because of how it was in the package, but that was too much. Way too much. All right, just gonna go ahead and throw that on top of my cheekbones. Yeah, I think I need to wash the brush because the shape is all wrong. It's like so wonky. There's no highlighter brush included, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use the Sigma E40 as my highlight brush today. It can get the job done. Just gonna go ahead and pick up a little bit of a glow and just put that right on top of my cheekbones. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, I was not expecting to like that so much. I don't love it, the cheek with this eye look. I feel like it's a little bit, like I said, a little too warm for what I would typically pair with this. Right, let's do some swatches of the lippies real quick. We've got the Dreamy liquid lipstick, which just looks like that. You know, I feel like it's kind of like a classic, like rosy brown, neutral shade. And then Magical, let's see. Looks like a pretty shimmery gloss. If I'm being honest, I'll probably pass that one on maybe to like my little sister or something because I don't really wear shimmery glosses that often. We'll try it real quick just so you can see what it looks like on the lips if this is the kind of product you like. But for me, ooh, Wait, where did all the sparkle go? Okay, you know what? I take it back. On the lips, that's 2 layers. I feel like it doesn't look like a metallic lip. Like looking at the swatch versus looking at how it looks on my lips, I like it on the lips so much more. In fact, I think that would actually be a really pretty topper. Now going into Dreamy liquid lipstick. Okay, I don't have any thoughts on the formula yet because like I've said, never tried a Sigma liquid lipstick before, but this color, this is the finished look. I have to say, I'm honestly really happy with the collection. The eyeshadow palette, I mean, it really just depends on your personal preference. If you like the color story, I would say quality seems to be on par with the other Sigma eyeshadow palettes. I really love the look. Like, I think it's just such a fun look, and it was actually so easy. The mattes blended just so fast. I'm happy with it. As far as the lippies go, like I said, I feel like both of these are really, really pretty, and this liquid lipstick, like something about the tone of this, I feel like it goes really well with like this like very fun grungy green look, but I think it would also look really nice with the warm tones in the palette. The face duo I think looks pretty. Is it anything to write home about? I don't know about that, but I mean, I think it looks nice. I'd say out of the collection, my favorite would be the eyeshadow palette and the liquid lipstick. The brushes are nice, but unless you're like specifically wanting this like gold blue moment, it's not my absolute favorite Sigma brush set. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.